When Sir Francis Drake and the Pilgrim Fathers set sail from Plymouth Sound, they found the waters between the Spanish Armada and North America far more navigable than those which separate the first and second divisions of the Football League. The modern-day pilgrims from Home Park have yet to reach their promised land. In 70 years of league participation, Plymouth Argyle's greatest achievement has been 4th place in Division 2, a position they've enjoyed twice, the last success being in 1953. Yet, as each season dawns, hope springs eternal, and the summer of 1990 was no exception. Manager David Kemp, who'd guided the team to safety with an 8-match unbeaten run in the closing weeks of the previous campaign, emphasised that his yellow brick road would lead to the First Division with Plymouth Argyle. Argyle couldn't have faced a tougher test on the opening day than a trip to St James's Park to face Newcastle United. With stalwart Tommy Tynan now departed, new signing Robbie Turner led the attack, but it was Newcastle defender Bjorn Christensen who called the shots with that 30-yarder in the second minute. Tyneside has not been a happy hunting ground for Plymouth over the years, and the Geordies continue to dictate the play. Adrian Burrows' appeal for offside is more hope than an act of conviction in the 65th minute, and can't prevent Mickey Quinn sealing yet another Magpies victory. Watford are the first visitors to Home Park. Like Argyle, they've lost their opening joust and are anxious to redress the situation. But it's David James, the visiting custodian, who has his work cut out, though even he has no answer to this superbly fighted shot from Andy Thomas. In the second half, Watford raised their game. Big Joe McLaughlin's header earning the draw. 2 points lost rather than 1 gained was the feeling amidst the home fans. It meant extra pressure on the team to secure a home win over Middlesbrough. The Pilgrims are upstaged by the impudent goal-scoring skills of Bernie Slaven, who rifles in a left-footed shot on the stroke of half-time. Then it's a free kick on the hour that draws Plymouth level. The ball is touched to Andy Thomas, who produces the perfect finish. Disappointment, if not frustration, hung over the home dressing room. The failure to maximise their home advantage was hurting their promotion ambitions. Andy Thomas made it 3 goals in 3 games when he struck at Ashton Gate. But for the 3rd successive game, Plymouth Argyle had to be content with a 1-1 draw. There's a touch of genius about Kevin Hodges' goal in the 35th minute against Leicester. City's defence failed to clear their lines from David Byrne's throw, and Hodges' sublime control and turn sends them scurrying in all directions before he dispatches his shot between James's legs. If the first goal was sheer magic, then the second is mere farce. Again, City's rearguard struggle in the air, but no one is more surprised to see the gaping goal than Owen Pickard, as the ball drops like a gift from heaven. "2-0 the score, and that first win of the season puts Argyle in 14th place in the league table, just 4 points short of Millwall in 3rd position. But if Plymouth are really going to be serious promotion candidates, they must establish a superiority over sides like Oxford United. This was a game twice won, then thrown away. Adrian Burrows steams in to meet Mark Fiore's free kick and seemingly catches the keeper unaware in the 53rd minute. Not long after, it's a case of hands, knees, and who was marking him as Foyle steals an equaliser. It's a case of pick that one out as Andy Thomas volleys his 4th goal of the season to restore Argyle's lead in the 77th minute. The opportunity materialising from a suicidal defensive header. But with 4 minutes to play, Steen leaps to meet a right-wing corner and direct his header past an almost static defence. Plymouth, still unbeaten at home, must alas once more settle for a share of the points. Robbie Turner nets his first goal for the club in his 7th appearance at Molineux, but Steve Bull rattles in 2 and Andy Much contributes 1 as Wolves impress their superiority. The visit of First Division Wimbledon in the Rumbelows League Cup provides a refreshing interlude to the league marathon. Andy Thomas brushes a rather listless Roger Joseph aside to get on the end of his set piece. It's his 5th goal of the season and gives manager David Kemp a sporting chance of defeating his former club in the second leg in 2 weeks hence. The euphoria of that victory over First Division opposition looks like holding good at Fratton Park. Andy Thomas slotted the Pilgrims into a 19th minute lead, and they twice hit the bar before succumbing to a second half revival that drags Portsmouth to a 3-1 win. With just 7 points from 8 matches, Plymouth are losing touch with the leading pack, but at home to West Bromwich Albion, they rekindle their dreams. The opening goal, as so often the case this season, emanates from a cross from the right. Andy Thomas demonstrating once more his phenomenal instinct for finding the net, with a little help from Robbie Turner on this occasion. It's Thomas's 7th goal in 10 games. In the second half, West Brom centre-half takes it all too casually. Mark Fiore pounces to force the ball almost through the grounded goalkeeper. A cool finish to make it Plymouth Argyle 2, West Brom 0. There's no score, but another point from the home game with Ipswich Town, in which Welsh international goalkeeper Rhys Wilmot is a saviour. The former Arsenal keeper makes the headlines for a different reason at Plough Lane, where he's sent off 7 minutes from time for a professional foul. But goals from Thomas and former Don Mark Fiore complete a 3-0 aggregate win. Back in the second division, Argyle are brought straight down to earth by Sheffield Wednesday. The second division promotion race remains the most intriguing struggle of the season. With almost a quarter of the season gone, a dozen clubs are still in contention, and Plymouth are just 4 points adrift of the chasing pack.
Puts it in right-footed. Nicky Reid lobs it high into the box. Stapleton down. Garner out to Irvine. Balked in the box. Penalty given. John Miller to take it. Saved by Rhys Wilmot. Bouncing around loose, massive scramble in the goal mouth, brought to an end by 3 or 4 blasts on John Key's whistle.
Wilmot the hero, and if they can get their act together, Argyle can still make the playoffs. Well, Wilmot is once more the star as he claims another clean sheet against Notts County. The alarm bells start to toll when struggling Hull City show their claws in the 12th minute. The leggy Dave Bamber capitalising on some very inept defending to give the Tigers the lead. Andy Morrison makes amends with this determined leap to notch his first goal of the season in the 39th minute. After the break, Argyle show just why they are considered long shots for success, with Dennis Salmon scoring the first of his brace from way out. The shot going in off the post. While Robbie Turner makes the most of David Walter's massive kick to fire in the goal of the week. It's 3-1 to Argyle and still 20 minutes to play. Enough time at least for Plymouth to execute another well-rehearsed dead ball routine. The only player not confused being Dennis Salmon. It's Plymouth Argyle 4, Hull City 1. The reward for that Rumbelows League Cup win over Wimbledon is a third round glamour tie with Nottingham Forest. The holders are quickly in command, and home park fans will see fewer finer goals than this spectacular strike from Gary Parker after just 12 minutes. Argyle just can't make any impression on a solid Forest defence, and when Martin Barlow's cross is intercepted, it proves disastrous for the second division hopefuls. The precise and clinical build-up, the emphatic finishing, exuding the class of a side unbeaten in 21 games in this competition. Nigel Jemson, who scored the Wembley winner against Oldham, displays his predatory instincts as he beats Brown and Burrows with a twisting run, then slides in his shot. Clough's men were easing home despite the fact they'd lost Des Walker with a strained hamstring, a factor that no doubt contributes to the confusion that arises from Kenny Brown's long, hopeful punt forward in the 83rd minute. It's Dennis Selman who brilliantly sizes up the situation and exploits it with his third goal in 2 matches to set up a stirring finale. Goalkeeper David Walter is in match-winning form at Selhurst Park after Robbie Turner thumps the winner past Bob Boulder in the 8th minute from his long kick. Turner misses the first bounce but reacts positively to seize on Webster's woefully weak header. The stand-in custodian positively sparkles with a string of fine saves to kill Charlton hopes and earn Plymouth 3 valuable points. Argyle, now in mid-table with 19 points from 15 games, are still only 3 points short of a playoff place and beginning to look good. But at Brighton they failed to consolidate their position. Martin Barlow's goal in the 90th minute giving the scoreline a somewhat false impression. At home to Millwall there's no such slip-up. Mark Fiore might lose his footing, but not his poise, and the final cross is devastating. Paul Robinson jumping in at the far post to force Argyle into a 26th minute lead. It's a wonder he survives the adulation of his teammates, but within 60 seconds he's on the ball again. A neat sidestep, a well-directed aim, and it's 2-0 to Plymouth Argyle. Argyle's defensive wall proves as resilient as the Iraqi armour when Teddy Sheringham lets rip with this free kick in the 46th minute. However, that 2-goal cushion is handed back to the Pilgrims by referee Ron Groves. Millwall fullback Ian Dawes misjudges the bounce, a somewhat harsh decision it would seem, but Nicky Marker has no regrets as he thumps in his first goal of the season from the spot. But Argyle are all at sea here as Alex Ray drifts onto Brian Stevens' through ball. Goalkeeper Rhys Wilmot needing to learn a few more brushstrokes if he's ever going to be a sweeper. Plymouth Argyle 3, Millwall 2. Next, it's penalties again in the Zenith Data Systems Cup against Brighton after 120 minutes fails to produce a goal. And Nicky Marker still can't break the deadlock with his opening kick. Small makes no mistake with Brighton's opening kick. That puts Brighton ahead. Then it's a case of hang down your head, Darren Garner, as his shot is saved by the keeper. Next, Byrne gives Wilmot no chance to redress the balance with this effort. That's 2-0 to Brighton. Martin Barlow finally gets Argyle on the score sheet. And that's Brighton 2, Argyle 1. And now it's up to Wilmot, but no chance, as Crumpler makes it 3-1 to Brighton. And Plymouth's chance evaporates as Mark Fiore wraps his kick against the crossbar. Brighton are through by 3-1. Now it's back to the second division and a test of wits against West Ham United, undefeated in their last 19 league games. Argyle make life difficult for the Hammers, but one flash of opportunism from Frank McAvenny is enough, the Scot pouncing to seize his chance after Wilmot has blocked Morley's shot. McAvenny's 66-minute winner is the 600th goal in the second division this season. The organisation which had frustrated West Ham so long was not in evidence at Vale Park. Ampadu had given Argyle a perfect start with his first goal for the club in the second minute, but Vale's retort was a 5-goal salvo, to which Plymouth had no answer. There was no relief at Vicarage Road either. Argyle's attack was blunted, their defending more than generous, Paul Wilkinson getting goal side of his marker in the 58th minute to open the scoring. And being allowed the same latitude after these appallingly inept attempts to clear the lines, just a quarter of an hour later, it's the first win in 8 games for Watford. A second glorious goal for Paul Wilkinson, and that's Watford 2, Plymouth Argyle 0. Well, Plymouth now have 22 points, Newcastle United 1 less, but with 2 games in hand. It seemed there would be no change in their relative positions as the game moved into its 88th minute with no score. Then this cross from Kevin Brock is eagerly snapped up by Gavin Peacock, making only his second appearance for Newcastle following his £150,000 move from Bournemouth. That's Plymouth Argyle 0, Newcastle United 1. The plastic carpet of Boundary Park is hardly the pile on which to restore lost morale, and when Neil Redfern ghosts in behind the ball watchers after just 80 seconds, the inevitable seems certain. But Plymouth are masters of the set play ploy, and as the Latics flounder, Keith Edwards, making his debut on loan from Huddersfield Town, squeezes in a 6th-minute equaliser, his 253rd goal in the Football League. It's following another free kick that Kenny Brown shoots Argyle into a shock lead some 20 minutes later. The fullback strike superbly executed with the nonchalance of a seasoned striker. This is only his second goal in 3 years with the club. It's Oldham's record-breaking scorer Roger Palmer who glances in an equaliser just before the interval to ease Joe Royle's fears. A bouncing ball is always a problem on synthetic turf. It proves so here as Barrett steals in to make it 3-2 to Oldham. Next it's Plymouth's slack defending which allows Redfern to fire home his second goal of the match. It could have been all over bar the shouting, but Kenny Brown has other ideas. He deserves a look for his single-mindedness and dogged determination. That makes it 4-3. But then 5 minutes from time, the elegant Palmer ensures Oldham regain pole position in the league when he snaps up this rebound from Wilmot's body. Oldham Athletic 5, Plymouth 3. Plymouth's losing streak has now extended over 5 successive games. Even more disturbing, they've conceded 14 goals and scored just 4 in this sequence. Boxing Day produces a real fighting display against Barnsley, and it's Argyle who conjure up the first knockdown. The Pilgrims once more making the most of a deep corner kick to catch the opposition on the turn. Mark Fiore's deft chip being beautifully tucked away by Steve Morgan. This is the festive period, the season of goodwill and all that, but Rammel must think it's his birthday as well, as he is allowed to pick his spot just 5 minutes from time. And that makes it 1-1. This is Argyle's first point in 6 games. Now instead of steaming towards the playoffs, they find themselves drifting in heavy waters with relegation a threat. It's certainly muddy waters as they battle it out with Bristol Rovers. Steve Morgan displays a nice touch of skill, his vision rewarded as Jones times it all wrong to send the ball under his own crossbar. "1-0 to the Pilgrims. It's more a case of muddy marvellous and riding the waves as Holloway forces this ball through for Saunders to level the score. "1-1 and only 9 minutes played. Morgan again sends over a telling cross, Jones forgetting the golden rule to attack the ball and paying the price as the ball drops off him into the path of Robbie Turner, who doesn't hide his delight. It's his first goal since November the 10th. If the home park fans were looking to enjoy their half-time bovril with Argyle in front, they were disappointed. The fourth goal of the game is almost an action replay for Saunders, who doesn't miss from this range. 2-2 the score, and all the goals coming in the first 43 minutes. The new year opens at the county ground, where the weather doesn't dampen the spirits or the quality of the play. In fact, the conditions contribute to the excitement, with both goals surviving some uncomfortable moments. We got the feeling there was going to be plenty of goals. Then the best chance of the first half falls to Swindon, the final header flashing past the Argyle angle. Then same goal, different half, and inevitably it's Robbie Turner who nets Argyle's first goal of 1991. The cross from Kevin Hodges is perfectly flighted, and Turner doesn't miss opportunities like that one. Barlow tries his luck from 25 yards as Plymouth attempt to consolidate their position. But Turner's 51st minute effort seems to be enough as the game draws towards its conclusion. Then alas, a lack of concentration and some sloppy attempts to clear allows Swindon this late reprieve. That makes it Swindon Town 1, Plymouth Argyle 1. 2 round trips to Ayresome Park clock at 1,520 miles, but no goals in the Cup and the League. Great performances from Steve Morgan and Dennis Salmon keep Argyle afloat in the FA Cup, while the point lifts them one rung up in the league ladder to 21st. In the Cup replay, the 13th minute proves unlucky for Argyle, Phillips' cross being flicked on by Mowbray, for Ian Baird to side foot home from 7 yards. The equaliser comes courtesy of a 27th minute penalty after Odcock is clumsily upended by Mowbray. And Nicky Marker is spot on from 12 yards. That makes it 1-1. Plymouth enjoy their most productive period in the second half, but as extra time looms, Paul Kerr edges in this injury time winner to earn Borough a 4th round trip to Cambridge United. Final score, Plymouth 1, Middlesbrough 2. Bristol City number 7 Dave Rennie must have thought it was still the first half as he set up a jubilant Paul Robinson in the 74th minute. This goal seals Argyle's first win in 10 games. Certainly a moment to savour. At Filbert Street, struggling Leicester City underline the realities of life in the relegation zone. Republic of Ireland striker David Kelly setting up a simple goal for Tommy Wright in the 33rd minute. Eight minutes later, Kelly outstrips a square back line to round David Walter and make it 2-0. Well, Argyle hearts are lifted as Nicky Marker makes the most of this second half chance as the ball drops on the back of Adrian Burrow's head to make it 2-1 just before the half-time whistle. But hopes of a comeback are squashed as Argyle are left chasing shadows when Tony James forces in a third goal for the Filberts. Final score: Leicester City 3, Plymouth Argyle 1. Plymouth sink deeper into the relegation mire at the Den. It takes only 2 minutes for Teddy Sheringham to lose his marker and make his mark from Stevenson's free kick. 19-year-old Darren Garner's snapshot from just inside the area raises false hopes. Argyle's defenders are once more chasing the wrong way as Sheringham strikes again in the 51st minute to put Millwall back in front. There's little opposition here either as the Millwall number 9 completes his hat-trick on the hour. And Sheringham's one-man demolition of Plymouth is completed with this, his 4th goal of the game. And that confirms him as Millwall's all-time top scorer in the league with 80 goals. Millwall 4, Plymouth 1. With just one win in 15 games, the Pilgrims' position is becoming desperate. Tension is eased in the 17th minute of the home game against 6th place Brighton as Kevin Hodges crosses. Perry Digweed's attention is distracted by Fiore's challenge, and his last-ditch stand leaves Steve Morgan to gratefully accept the opportunity. "20 minutes later, that old corner routine pays dividends again as Adrian Burrows beats some rather laboured attempts to keep out his header. Final score then: Plymouth 2, Brighton 0. The Pilgrims' strength in the air is seen to full advantage against Port Vale. Martin Barlow's clip centre being firmly dispatched past Mark Grew by Robbie Turner in the 48th minute. A good start, and it's Turner again from Morgan's assist to wrap it up with this powerful header. It's a long time coming, but when it does, it's worth waiting for. And that completes another valuable win for Argyle. It's also worth another look. Argyle on a roll now. Argyle 2, Port Vale 0. So 2 wins, 6 points, and at last a step up the league ladder. No one gives Argyle a chance at table-topping West Ham United, and when the Hammers are gifted the lead by the unfortunate Nicky Marker, following this approach work by Kevin Keane and Tim Breaker, the odds are firmly stacked against the Pilgrims. But they draw breath and fully deserve this 50th minute equaliser from Robbie Turner, cleverly engineered by Brown and Marker. "1-1 and delight for the travelling fans. Turner embarrasses the EastEnders in the air again as he meets Mark Fiore's free kick to score amidst almost stunned silence after 73 minutes. The Hammers respond in classical style, the precision of their passing, the delicacy of their touch setting up Tim Breaker for his first goal since his transfer from Luton Town. Still, it's another good result for Argyle. West Ham 2, Plymouth 2. And from West Ham to West Brom, where Plymouth pay for early uncertainty. Rhys Wilmot carrying the ball over the line as he gathers Palmer's 5th minute header. It's Kenny Brown's free kick which is headed onto the Albion bar, and the pantomime which follows is more like a sequence from Buster Keaton. Kevin Hodges, making his 501st league appearance, brings some order with the final shot. After the break, England under-19 fullback Steve Morgan fashions the winner for Robbie Turner to register his 5th goal in 3 games. Another good win for Argyle. West Brom 1, Plymouth 2. Portsmouth substitute Andy Orford is no match for Kevin Hodges, and the final trip cost Pempy the lead. Kenny Brown sending goalkeeper Gosney the wrong way from the penalty spot. With 8 minutes left, Martin Cool found an enormous gap through the middle. The shot on the run being played to perfection, and that makes it 1-1. By now, Argyle have dropped 22 points at Home Park, and against Sheffield Wednesday they are to forfeit 2 more after easing in front, with this well-taken goal following Chris Turner's blunder in the 62nd minute. Steve Morgan applying the finish. The Pilgrims are looking good for a great win when once more concentration lapses in the closing stages. Viv Anderson sends over the long ball, and Nicky Marker loses his man. Substitute Steve McKenzie has allowed the freedom of Home Park, and that makes it Plymouth 1, Sheffield Wednesday 1. Next, a poor run coming up with defeats at Portman Road and Oakwell. First it's Ipswich Town 3, Plymouth 1, and then another defeat coming up, Barnsley 1, Plymouth 0. So 2 defeats in a row. Well, Plymouth are still in dangerous waters, and championship chasing Oldham in no mood to be benevolent. That ace goal poacher Andy Ritchie is the master of the half chance, and when defenders hold off, this is what happens. And that's his 14th goal of the season. The 30-year-old poacher turns provider in the 61st minute. But oh, what is Neil Adams doing there, all by himself? That makes it 2-0 to Oldham. "90 seconds later, this free kick allows Mark Fiore to half the deficit. Kenny Brown playing the ball into the danger zone, and headers from Turner and Marker paving the way for Fiore's final touch. But it's too little too late. And the final score, Plymouth 1, Oldham Athletic 2. No goals at Bath, and it's now 6 games without a win. Now there's no bull about the 1-0 defeat of Wolves. Morrison's massive throw, Turner's positioning, Fiore's persistence. Morgan's sweet left foot, and the instinctive finishing of Kevin Hodges forcing a well-deserved winner. Three more points and Plymouth Argyle 1, Wolves 0 the final score. It's almost 4 months since Argyle last scored more than 2 goals in a match, so the 6-goal thriller with Swindon Town is a pleasant surprise. Andy Morrison starts the spree with this unorthodox but highly effective strike in the 14th minute. Swindon's reply on the half hour comes about when Argyle are caught on the turn. Vivicius' header nicely chested down by McLaren for Mickey Hazard to score. When Fraser Digby rushes out to punch away a long free kick, Danny Salmon shows great awareness and technique with this first-time toe-ender into the vacant net. That makes it 2-1 to Plymouth. It's down to basics again as the defender is stranded the wrong side of his man. Rideout finds Shearer. And that makes it 2-2 in the 56th minute. The home defence is completely wrong-footed by Kerslake's missed kick here. Lashed home by Shearer. And that's 3-2 to Swindon. It's not really what Plymouth deserve, but 5 minutes from time, there's a sort of poetic justice as Vivish, under pressure, turns the ball into his own net. And that's 3-3. At Oxford's Manor Ground, Plymouth draw for the 17th time this season. Plenty of action at both ends, and a lively affair in which goalkeepers Rhys Wilmot and Ken Vasey are the heroes. Wilmot needing 2 attempts to stop this Foley effort. And Judge denying Turner at the other end. Neither side then able to break the deadlock, but another disappointing game. Oxford 0, Plymouth 0. Plymouth wrap up the points against Blackburn Rovers inside 38 minutes, by which time defender Adrian Burrows and top shot Robbie Turner have each scored twice. It takes Burrows just 4 minutes to open the scoring, firing crisply past Bobby Mims from close range after Turner's header comes back from the underside of the bar. 6 minutes later, Turner shows perfect control and spectacular accuracy as he makes it 2-0. Next comes Turner's second goal of the match, his 13th strike of the season, to emphasise his strength and his timing. Burrows completes his day with this nice touch from a long throw-in. Three minutes from time, Rovers claim a consolation goal. Irvine the provider, and Frank Stapleton the scorer. Final score, Plymouth Argyle 4, Blackburn 1. With 50 points now in the bag, Argyle have ensured survival in Division 2, and there's certainly no disgracing losing at Notts County, a side destined for promotion. The losing habit continues at Hull City, but the season will end on a high note at Home Park. Popular fullback Kenny Brown collects his Player of the Year award prior to the final showdown with Charlton Athletic. Sadly, it's the only piece of silverware Argyle fans can celebrate this season. Well, Brown plays a crucial part in the opening goal, cutting out Mortimer's intended pass, making ground and firing in a long cross. Darren Pitcher and goalkeeper Bob Boulder are on different wavelengths as Pitcher's back pass loops into the net. And Brown again is involved in Argyle's final goal of the season. His cross, Turner's finish, and Charlton seemingly unable to keep the muscular number 9 in check as he claims his 14th goal of the season. So Argyle end the season on a winning note. And a final look at that final goal. Plymouth 2, Charlton Athletic 0. So the dust settles on another chapter of the Pilgrims' progress. The yellow brick road didn't lead to the promised land on this occasion. Plymouth Argyle ending the season in 18th place, having shipped too many goals. 68 conceded and 54 scored. Not the form to put Argyle in the promotion race. But their place assured in Division 2, they'll be ready to launch another crusade in that endless quest to reach Division 1 of the Football League next season.